Wat Atamayataram and Wat Puttapanya Nataram, Vancouver. And good morning, good evening, actually, everybody in Thailand and all over the world. I have been skipped for 1 week. There was last week, last Saturday. There was some the convention of the Buddhist messenger, or we call it Buddhist missionaries meeting all over the world. And Ajahn Chawachai had to participate that convention. So we skipped one Saturday. Today we will continue our program as usual, and I have brought the topic of the Dhamma, which is very, very interesting for the audience, especially those who are Buddhists who are living in the society, wherever in USA or in Thailand, all over the world, you are the member of the community. What I have brought today is called the person in a good community or a good society, or in order to have a good community, to be a good member of the society, what do we have? What qualities of the person has to be embodied in order to make oneself fit into the good society. In the sense of the harmonious participant of the group, or a good community members. There's a used participant of the community, called useful participant of the community, who are able to contribute the peaceful coexistence of the community, should have the following qualities or the principle of conduct. The first one that I have listed today is being a self-reliance. One should make himself a refuge unto himself, so that he is ready to take a responsibility for himself and does not make himself into a problem or burden on his company. This can be achieved by maintaining the 10 protective virtues. That's called Nattakarana Dhamma, which having 10 virtues. The first one is the Sila. By having a good conduct and discipline, we are supposed to have a conduct his life, our own life, very honestly in the body and speech, so that we have a discipline and earns a good living through a right livelihood. And then the second is called Pahusacca. Possessing much the experience and learning. He has learned and heard much. He is well versed in his own field of a study or specific area of a knowledge, understanding everything that you working with extensively or profoundly, know things very clearly and can really put it into in action or make it into a use. That is called Pahusacca. The third one is called Kalyana Mitta, knowing a good association. He has a good friend who knows how to choose his companion and approach those people who are capable of giving good advice. He chooses to associate with them and emulate the beneficial external influence in the society that will guide his life into the prosperity and growth. So this is the Kalyana Mitta, the good friend, the noble friend. The fourth one is called Sowa Satcha, Sowa Satchata, being easy spoken to. He is not stubborn or headstrong. He is really willing to listen to the reason and fact and ready to correct and improve himself. The next one, which is the fifth one, is called Kinkalaniya Yesu Takkata. By making an effort with the group's activities, he takes an interest in helping in the business or any activities of the group or the community, his family, friend, and the society, and use his own wisdom, to look for appropriate way in order to solve or to solve the problem of the society, or to carry them out, to organize them and bring them to the fruition. The next one, we call it Dhammakamata. Dhammakamata is being a lover of truth. He is a lover of the truth. He likes to learn, to do research, to inquire, to acquire knowledge and seek for the truth. He knows how to speak up and ask a question, learn to listen at the same time. He has friendly and relaxed manners that encouraging others to approach him for consultation and conversation, good conversation. The next one, we call it Viriya Lampa. By having a very strong effort, the powerful effort for the society, he is very industrious, very diligent in avoiding and abandoning evil action, and learn always how to cultivate the good action. One who can make an effort and strive forward, which does not never give up in a despair or never neglect for sake of his duties and responsibilities. These are called Viriya Lampa. The next one is the Santuti. By being content, knowing the moderation, he is very glad and very content only with the gains, result, and success brought about or achieved rightfully through his own effort. He's not caught up in the material comfort. Being enough is enough. That is the key word for the สันตุถี or ในภาษาไทยเราเรียกว่าสันโดษนะครับ The next one is sati. Having a firm or strong mindfulness, active mindfulness. Always remember and mindful collectiveness in whatever we have done and always said, and what we need to do in the future. Always circumspect and restrained with whatever he has done. Not rush out or sloppy, or we call it reckless. We do not allow, one should not allow himself to slide into a wrongful ways or fall into seed any opportunity to do a good action. So this is called having a mindfulness, very powerful qualities for the good person in the society. And the last one is called, probably the most important one, is called panya. Putting together head up over heart. He has done that wisdom to see cause and result. He knows right from wrong, benefit from harms, and what is useful from what is not. So he knows what is what, that is, and pick only the one that useful for himself or for society. He sees all things very clearly as they are. He knows how to examine and judge with the free mind. This is the free mind. He does not, he always think of the benefit, sharing the benefit of the society. He always does things with the reflection and discernment. Then we can move up to the next principle. It's called living harmoniously in the group. Well, in regard to relation with the colleague or associates, the fellow community members and sibling, even sibling in the family, the principle for the harmony is known as the six saraniya dhamma, which is the condition that leading to the mutual recollections that actually should be observed as the following. The first one is metta kaya kamma. By being friendly, acting, the member of the communities, each one show the friendliness, the friendship and the goodwill to the colleague, to the associate, to the fellows, community members, by willingly helping them in all duties and action, bearing a courteous and and respectful manners both in their present and in their absence. So this is called the metta kaya kama. And the second quality under this principle, under this category, is called metta vachikama. To friendly speech, they each inform the other what is of the benefit. They teach or advise them with the heart of the goodwill always. They always say only they say only politely and respectfully. The word that we communicate is always polite and respectful, both in their present and also absent. The next one is called metta manokama, friendly thought. They establish their mind in a goodwill, thinking of the way to be like service to each other, looking at each other in a good light, having a pleasant and congenial attitude toward each other. The next one is called sila samanyata. Sila samanyata means the moral harmony that we try to maintain the virtuous conduct or virtuous action that abide by the community rules and regulation and do not conduct themselves in a way that are objectionable or damaging to the community. So this is the benefit of the sila samanyata. And next one is called satarana pokhi. Satarana pokhi means sharing of the gains that they share with each other. Whenever we gain, we have been rightfully acquired, seeing to it that every small things are distributed equally to all. This is very important. When we gain something, we should share for the society benefit. Then the next one, which is the last one, is called Titti Samanyata. The harmony of the wills. We must respect and honor each other's wills. That we have reached consensus or agree upon the main principle of the society. They adhere to the same ideals, the principle of the virtue or the ultimate aims. So these are the quality of the good person that living in the same community or the society or even the small society, which is the family, should really practice, should really make this quality active. So turning the society become a noble society, which is finally it will leading to the good nation, the good global. It's become turning into the global qualities that bring about the peacefulness, the happiness, and the growth of the community. And then we can talk about the responsibility of the members of the state, so that we're trying to upgrade the quality in order to approach the good state that will containing the good member of the state. The responsibility of the members that will bring about the global quality of the state. So the contribution to the good government, that is the main thing. We all citizens who contribute to bringing about a good administration, especially in a democracy, we should know and abide by the following principle in order to be the responsible member of the state. The first one is we must understand the three kinds of the supremacy, or เราเรียกกันว่าอธิปไตยซึ่งมีอยู่3ชนิด There are three kinds of the supremacy as follow. The first one is called อัตตาธิปไตย or อัตตาธิปไตยะ the supremacy of oneself, putting the prime importance on one's self, positioning, reputation, or the status, acting in the view of oneself and what relate to oneself. On the wholesome side, it means abandoning the evil action and try to cultivate the good out of the sense of the self-respect. So this is called อัตตาธิปไตยะ or อัตตาธิปไตยในภาษาไทย The second one is called โลกาธิปไตยะ the supremacy of the world, putting together the prime importance on worldly value and wavering in face of the criticism and pressure operating on the basis of what please the group, seeking the popularity or feeling censure, and the wholesome side is referred to avoiding evil action and cultivating a good action in the deference to the opinion of the community. So this is called โลกาธิปไตยะ supremacy of the world. Then the next one is called ธรรมาธิปไตยะ or the supremacy of the Dhamma, putting together the prime importance of the principle, the truth, the righteousness, the virtue, and the reason, and operating on the basis of what has been learned, and verify against the fact, acting on the will that have been extensively and clearly investigated, and also consider to the best one wisdom and integrity to be the righteousness and for the sake of the goodness on the general level. It means acting out of the respect for the establishes principle, law, rules, and regulation of the society or even of the state. So to be bearing these three kinds of the supremacy in mind, a responsible members of the democratic state should adhere to the last of the three, namely the supremacy of the Dhamma. So the Buddha mentioned regarding the state that the supremacy of the Dhamma is the most important one. And the second one is participating in the government. How? By practicing in accordance with the principle for the collective responsibility, which helping a decline or leading only to the possibility known as the seven, what we call it, apalihaniyatham. There are 7 qualities. That is, the first one is meeting often and regularly, regularly conferring on the community affair or any project which are to be shouldered by each person according to his level. Second one is meeting together, mean dispersing together and doing together what need to be done together. The third one, neither instituting a law and regulation by not communally agree upon simply out of the convenience or the personal preference, nor denying or abolishing things that already instituted, upholding the main provision establishes as the constitution. One have to try to maintain which law regulation that has been already established and followed by the member of the society, the member of the state. Then the next one, the fourth one, is honoring and respecting the elder long in experience, giving them a weight to their words. We respect our Thera Nuthera. We respecting the old age monks or the statesman, that we have to be really respectful and honor them. And then the next one, honoring and respecting the women folks, protecting them from the abuse and ill treatment. Next one is honoring and revering the shrine, holy place, and national monument, for example, which are the memorial arousing the virtue and center of the community spirit. We never neglecting to honor the ceremonies that highly required for those places as dictated by the tradition. And then the last one, we also organizing the rightful protection. The rightful protection, supporting and sanctuary to the monks and the priests who maintain the pure moral conduct and who serve as the spiritual refuge and being a moral example for the people, gladly receiving them and wishing for their own comfort. In addition to this principle, I would like to also advise to maintain the principle of outline that has been already mentioned in the last topic, so that we can make together the member of the society and the member of the state come together to build a nation, a strong nation. So when the country or the state or the government member are good, the nation turn to be a strong nation, strong state. And rarely to be attacked by the enemies, because the society, the member of the society are following the rule and regulation, or the principle, or the qualities that should be acquired by the member of the society, the member of the government, the member of the state. So these are the recommended the qualities of the person in the society. And now we can check out the quality of the administrator or the state leaders. What should be a quality of the state leaders or the administrators? For the lord of the land, the state leader or the ruler, or even the emperor, the king, or the administrators in general, there are the following qualities and the principle of the conduct that should be considered in order to follow. The first one is we call Raja Dhamma, or เรารู้จักกันในชื่อของทศพิธราชธรรม or it's called Raja Dhamma. คือธรรมะที่ทำให้เป็นพระราชาที่ดี Raja Dhamma, being endowed with the 10 legal qualities in order to have a 10 quality of the righteousness, the ruler or the king. The first one is called dana, the sharing with the populace. He should be a benefactors in that the rule, or to work to give, not to take but to give. He must devote himself to the administering service and providing welfare and aids for the people to ensure their well-being, a convenience, and the safety. He must be render assistance to those in distress or difficulty and support those who have done well. So this is the first quality of the state leader, the dana. The second one is the sila, maintaining a good conduct. he should be really impeccable in conduct and restrained in action and speech. He does only the good action and uphold his honor. He set an example for the people, commanding their respect and is free from any cause of contempt. The next one is called Sujat, the working selflessly. Or we call Parijaka, working selflessly. He is capable of sacrificing the personal comfort, even his own life, for the benefit of the people of the society, and he always peace and stability for the peace and the stability of the country. So this is called Parijaka, the working selflessly. And the fourth one is called Ashawa, working honestly. He is so honest and uphold the truth always. He is free of deceit and upright in his dealing. He should be very sincere and does not deceive the people. And the next one is called Matawa, deporting himself with the gentleness and congeniality. His bearing is not arrogant, not rude or harshness or really conceit. He has a nobility and dignity that are based on the polite and gentle manners, inspiring devotion and loyalty, but not without all. The next one is called Tapa. By rejecting the indulgence through the austerity, he always destroys the defilements and craving, and does not allow themselves to control in order to control his mind. He can restrain his mind and does not allow it to become lost in the sensual pleasure. He is very simple and regular in his lifestyle, and really dedicate to the fulfillment of his own duty. The next one is called Agotha. By adhering to the reason and not anger, he is not given to the fiery outburst and does not make a judgment or act out of anger, but has always a heart of the goodwill. Instead, suppressing the anger, always try to suppress his own anger, or he judges and act really righteously with the mind that is subtle and calm. So he can do this through his own meditation practice actually, and the last king of Thailand, he really the good Buddhist, and he always practiced the Dhamma, practiced the meditation that has been known by the people. The next quality is called avihingsa. By bringing a tranquility through nonviolence, he does not let his power go to his head or to use his repress his subject. He is always kind. He does not find the pretext for punishing a subject out of the what is called the vindictiveness and hatred. The next one is called khanti. By overcoming the difficulties with the patience, he endures a heavy work, loading and really when he faced the difficulties or tiredness, no matter how difficult or depressing the works may be, he does not give up. No matter how much he is provoked or ridiculed or whatever harsh or really abrasive words, he does not despair. He refused to abandon a task that rightfully done. The next one is called avirodhana. By not doing that which is stray from the righteousness, he does not transgress the principle of the public administration that are based on the welfare, the happiness, and the righteousness of the people and the country. He should not oppose what the people rightfully desire. He should not stand in the way of those activities which are for the common good. He always established himself very firmly in the righteousness, steadfast and unwavering in the face of the pleasant and unpleasant words, gain and loss, desirable and undesirable condition. He should be firmly established in the righteous principle and does not deviate from the subvert them, both in the judicial terms, namely justice, and in the regulatory terms, namely the regulation, the formalities and administrative principle that including a good custom and the tradition of the state. So these are the called the Raja Dhamma or the Tosapit Raja Tham in ในภาษาไทยเรานะครับ and then the next quality is performing the duties of the universal emperor. He should perform the 5 duties of the supreme ruler called จักรวรรดิวัตร The first one is called Dhamma by holding the Dhamma as a supreme. He must adhere to the truth, the righteousness, the goodness, the reason, the principle, and the rightful rules and the regulation as a standard. He must respect, uphold, favor, and establish himself in the righteousness and practice them accordingly. This is the Dhamma And the second one is Dhammikalakha. By providing the righteous protection, to provide the fair protection to the all group. This is very important to solve the problem of the racism, especially in US, in America. We are facing the very serious problem, which are the racism in America, black and white. Because of the lack of this Dhammikalakha, we should provide the righteous protection to all members of the society, not bias, no bias, to all the group of the people. We consider them very important equally. They are official, the civil servants, academic, people of the various occupations, such as merchants, farmers, the country people, and the inhabitants of the border province, monk, and places should be uphold moral conduct. And evil beasts and birds requiring the conservation. Then the next quality is called Ma Athamakara. By prohibiting the unrighteous action, the leader must arrange the preventive and remedial measure, not allowing the unrighteous action, exploitation, the oppression, even corruption, or unrest to arise in the country. He always encouraged the people to establish themselves firmly in the honesty and virtue, and also establish a system that can exclude the bad people, not to be a member or the majority of the society, that we should exclude them and promoting a good person. The next one is called Thananupatan. Thananupatan is distributing the resources to the poor in order to ensure that there are no poverty-stricken people in the land. For example, arranging them all the people have a chance to make an honest living. This is very important for the good economic system in the country. Thananupatan is very important. And then the next one is Paripucha. Paripucha is not failing to seek a counsel. He always seeks the advancement in the wisdom and virtue by having advisors who are learned and virtuous, who are morally upright and not heedless, self-indulgent, who can help him to cultivate his own wisdom and wholesome qualities. He approached monks and wise men seeking a knowledge at all time. Instead of consuming, he always learning. To approach the goodness and the truth, he always discuss the various problem with the member of the society very regularly and in a very appropriate time, so that many examine and he always may examine and improve himself and carry out his duty rightfully, properly, so as to bring about the true welfare and happiness for the country. These are the quality that regarding also the Raja Dhamma. And the next one is we call it Raja Sanghaha. Raja Sanghaha means affecting the royal benefaction. He must always support the people or allowing them to live in the unity, in the harmony with the full quality of the Raja Sanghaha Vatu, the principle by which the king support his people. The first one is, we call it Sasameta. Sasameta is promoting agriculturing. He has to be very skilled in the agronomic policy, promoting agricultural activities which bring about the bountiful crop yields. And then the second one is called Pulisameta, promoting the government official. He must be a really good driver at making a policy, supporting a government official by, for example, encouraging honest and capable official, and also providing them the enough social benefit, for example. Then the next quality is called Sammapasa. Sammapasa is the bonding, by bonding the people together. He must assist the people with the policy that supporting their livelihood by, for example, providing the fund from which the poor may borrow to set themselves up in the commerce or start up the business, the operation, what we call it SM, small business enterprise, SME, and also eliminating an economic disparity that is so wide and might cause a rift amongst the people. And then the next one is called Vachapaya. Vachapaya is the impressive speech. He must learn how to speak, how to clarify and advise. He must take the interest in the greeting people of all levels, and inquiring about their welfare. His speech must be always present to the ear. Were to listen, to reason, well found and very useful speech. It leads the way to constructive action, to the solution of the problem, to increase the harmony, and to a mutual understanding, trust, and respect. And then the last quality, and should be the last quality of today's discussion, is called the akati. The king, the leader, or the state leader must avoid the bias. When the administrator is carrying out his function, he should not allow, therefore, bias or the deviation from the righteousness into interfere. The first one is called Shantakati, the bias conduct on account of liking, disliking. The second one is called Tosakati, bias conduct on account of the dislike. The third one is called Mohakati, the bias conduct on account of the delusion or the foolishness. And the last one is called Payakati, a bias conduct on account of the timidity or of fear. These four biases should be strongly avoided through an action of the state leader or the king even, or the government leader, for example, the prime minister or the president. So to get the good society, the nation, the global, one must learn and experience the mentioned qualities that I have brought today. The Raja Dhamma or Raja Sanghaha. This quality should be practiced very strongly, very regularly by the state leader or the king or the president or the prime minister of each nation. I hope today Dhamma, the topic of the today Dhamma, should more or less benefit all of you. And thank you very much for watching this program. And we will come back to see you again next Saturday early morning at about 5:30. And today I would like to wish you all happy and have a really wonderful day with the peace mind, and perform any duty function with the mindfulness. And we will come back to see you again next Saturday. Thank you very much. I will pass this back to พระอาจารย์ Thawat Chai.
โอเคอยากจะ